All right, welcome back to Das Fit. My name's Matt. You already know that. Today we're gonna focus on arms. I brought a roller. It's gonna be a little different than most people do arms. All the stuff we're gonna be focusing on today is helping your shoulders staying in alignment as you perform a motion. So the first thing we're gonna do is a serratus focus. Your serratus is your muscle that is responsible for keeping your shoulder in the alignment as you go through your motion. So you'll have a roller. You can place it on the wall. I want you to start up kind of closer to the wall, because as you kind of roll the roller up, I want you to think of scooping your elbows towards the wall. And what that's going to activate is the muscles around your shoulder blade. So that's where the work is going to be performed. That's where I want you to feel it. As far as numbers go, what I would rather you access is how you feel and where you feel that. So maybe starting out 3 sets of 5 and then increasing as you get better and better. So as you start, your hands will be down, elbows closer to your bedline. I want you to stay relaxed. Don't press into the roller, because as you press, everything contracts. We want to make sure everything's smooth as you go up. So when you go to perform, keep your vision at the wall. Don't look up or anything. Your hands are gently on the roller. I want you to think of, as your hands come up and they reach about a 90 degrees angle, I want you to then think about pressing your elbows towards the wall. Only go as far as you can maintain that alignment all the way up, and then come back down. As you get better and better, your range of motion will get bigger and bigger. And back down. I'm gonna have my assistant just come by, and if you can, just place a hand right here. So as I roll up, my arms stay nice and gentle. As I get to that 90 degrees, I'm gonna think to press. So scoop your elbows towards that wall. You should feel those muscles work the entire time. And then come back down. You're set up well. I'm gonna fit you just a smidge, right? So if I have the roller come down a little bit, you can have your hands just come down. Yep. So now keep your elbows kind of closer to your midline. Now go for it. Good. Pause and then start thinking about scooping your elbows towards that wall. And what you should feel is this right here. Good. Come back down. Any pain doing that?
No.
Good. I don't want you to ever have pain, because again, this is focusing on the alignment. So as you move, you feel these muscles kind of turn on. This is going to help when going overhead. How's that feel?
Good.
Good. Touch me. Touch me. There you go. Come back down. I'm gonna help you this time, right?
Okay.
So when you do it, elbows stay close. Good. Think of gently coming up. Good. 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 Pause. Now try and hit my hands. You feel more?
Yeah.
Good. Come back down. You got 2 more, just like that. Good. Nice. All right. That all makes sense?
Yeah.
Good. Good. Yeah. It's just a practice of a serratus press at the wall without the roller. The reason being is because you're not always going to have a roller there to kind of help you assist in the motion. So it's the same thing, only you're going to think of having your hands on the wall right here. I want you to think of gently kind of coming up that wall. As you think to get 90, I want you to think, press your elbows into that wall. You'll feel that kind of serratus turn on, and then come back down. If you can, as you get better and better, your range of motion will get bigger. So you want to think gentle, gentle, gentle. And back down. Notice my torso's not inching towards the wall. Everything's staying nice and linear, straight. So biggest thing is that when you come to start, if you start up here, watch. If you start up here, all this is turned on already. Okay? So I want you to think that's where you start. Now go for it. Good. Pause. Now I want you to think of, you can kind of start to let your hands come towards you a little bit.
Okay.
And then I want you to scoop up the wall. You feel more here?
Uh-huh.
Good. And then come back down. So anything that you would think of using your arms, bicep curls, tricep, shoulder press, anything that involves your limbs, you want to think your serratus is helping your shoulder while you're doing that motion. Okay? Any questions?
Mm-mm.
Feel that burn?
Mm-hmm.
Good. All right. 2 more and then you're all done. Go. Excellent. Good. It's a bicep curl. You can use water bottles. These are only 2-pound weights, so not very heavy at all. Again, I want you to kind of focus on that area of the shoulder blade being active. You know, in a bicep curl, you're gonna feel it in your bicep, so it's okay to feel that there too. When you do a bicep curl, feet are about hip width, shoulder width. I want you to think of, as you kind of do your bicep curl, that your arms are kind of squeezed together. So imagine if you had like towels under your armpits, and I said, all right, here's your towels. You can't drop them. That's what your bicep curl is gonna look like, okay? I'm actually gonna show you this without a shirt on. And I'll also show you with the towels, okay? When you do a bicep curl, making sure that your back is nice and flat, you can almost think of having those towels in between, and then you're squeezing. You're feeling that bicep. You're also feeling some shoulder blade work there. When you come back down, being really sure that you're not just dropping the weights and you're working on the way down as well. So, and then down. The longer you go down, the longer you take to go down, the more you work, okay? This is a little tip I learned in some PT sessions. You can take some towels and kind of place them in between your armpits. And then this motion, this idea, is the same idea as using your serratus at the wall. So if I squeeze the towels together, that's almost activating that shoulder blade work. And then combination of that and your bicep curl, that's how you do it. You can do variations. You don't always have to turn. That's just adding some work in your forearms. You can just do hammers. Repetition range, I would say anywhere from 3 sets of 5, and then work your way up from there. Again, I don't want you to go ham on the weight. I want you to feel more of where you feel it, where you feel your body working. Okay? Good. Looks good. I'm gonna help you out just as soon as you're gonna feel a little bit more, okay?
Okay.
So your shoulders right now, they're just internally turned a little bit. So if you think of just relaxing, and now I want you to think of squeezing those. Now do it. Feel a little different?
Yes.
Yeah. Give me 5 of those. Good. Work on the way down. Go slow. Good. You're working today.
Mm.
You feel all right?
Yeah.
Good. Excellent. Working on that way down too. Great stuff. Feel the difference.
Yeah.
Good.
Just a little bit of shoulder difference.
You got it. All right. You can take a little break whenever you'd like. The next exercise I'm going to teach you is called D2 shoulder flexion. So it's going to target that shoulder muscle. During this exercise, I use a band. During the exercise, when you go to place the band under your foot, I want you to place it under your big toe metatarsal. So it's not the toe, but the knuckle of your big toe. That accounts for 50% bounce, believe it or not. So be really sure that you have that contact point down. I'm gonna turn to the side so you can get a better idea of what I want you to do and how I want you to do it. So it's gonna be also the opposing foot, just to make sure of that. I want you to be really sure that you're not winging. Okay, so winging is when your shoulder kind of wings out. I want you to think of that you have to reach for the ground. Almost think of not that you're reaching with your arm, but you're just kind of letting your elbow kind of drift towards the floor. And what you'll feel is that serratus activity right here. And then as you do it, I want you to come in a diagonal. So reach, 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 reach. Then back down. You know, the more time you take, the harder you're gonna work, the more conscious you are of your own body. So I would say take your time. There's no rush. As far as repetition range, anywhere from 5 times, do it 3 sets. Again, focusing on how you feel rather than the number, okay? I want you to think of just letting your elbow kind of, while it's close to your body, just let your elbow kind of drift towards the ground. And what you should feel is this muscle. Now I want you to maintain that reach, so you can't bend through your elbow as you go up. You can only go as far as you keep that alignment.
Okay.
Go for it. Good. Come back down. I'm gonna guide you this time, right? I'm gonna fix your grab it this way. No, no, yeah, that's right. Then go ahead and reach. Good. Come over here. There you go. More work here, right? Good. Come back down. One thing that also helps, also yes, is that if you grab it with your thumb up,
Okay.
then do it. Feel a little better?
Uh-huh.
Good. I want to feel this muscle first. Good. Pause for a sec. Keep your wrist like this.
Okay.
Reach for me. Oh, come back down. Reach for me. You got it. Come back down. See my hand here?
Okay.
Reach for me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now do it.
Okay.
Feel the difference there?
Yeah.
Okay. So being really sure that you have this muscle on
Okay.
as you work with your shoulder.
Okay.
There you go. That's it.
Can't go as high that way.
That's all right.
Okay. Ooh.
Do one more and take a little break. Good. All right. Feel the difference? So the littlest detail does matter in shoulder press. The first time I do it, I'm going to do it without weights because I want people who maybe don't have weights at home to not feel left out. This is not anything I do. You can do it without weights. You don't need weights. But obviously, if you have some weights, it's going to push your body a little bit more. So what I want you to do, shoulder press, most people know what a shoulder press is, but this is a shoulder press when you're going overhead. I'm going to use the wall today because, again, I've touched on this in the last few videos, but anytime you can give your body support, it just gives your body that support so your mind can understand what you're doing and how to do it. So set up at a wall. I want you to have your feet shoulder width. When you do it, I want you to think of the first thing is kind of getting your head back. Okay, so like when I say back, it's not back to the wall. I want you to think of there's a little string on the top of your head and it's pulling you to the sky and you're getting really, really tall. So I want you to think of, again, it's not that. It's thinking of chin comes to your sternum, and you're getting long through your cervical spine. Okay, so back long through the back of the neck. At this point, I want you to think of your arms come out and swing. I want you to focus on putting your palms on the wall. You should feel even, so straight. I don't want you to feel like lopsided on one side or the other. And then I want you to gently slide up and down the wall. Your ranges of motion will get bigger and bigger, so don't really worry about the ranges of motion, but how you feel. When you do this, you're gonna get some bicep a little bit, you're gonna get some shoulders. But again, I don't want any pain. So that's the name of the game with me, is I don't like people in pain. It's also an option to use the weights. So when you use the weights, I want you to think of starting closer to your body. You're gonna perform a little chin nod. And then I want you to think of staying close to your midline at first. Serratus activation. Come to the wall. And then press. You can go as far as that range will allow you to go, as long as you're in alignment. So repetition range, I would say start maybe at 3 sets of 5, work your way up from there, so 8, 10, 12. Just progressing with doing it just with your body weight at first, and then progressing to the weights if needed. All right, so last exercise of the day for our arm circuit. It's really a trap exercise, but I wanted to combine it today just to kind of give you some other things to work on. So it's called a hug and shrug. The reason we call it a hug and shrug is because you're going to be hugging yourself. So when you go to set up for this exercise, make sure that you're not very narrow stance or not very large. You want to think shoulder frame is where your feet should be. You can think of kind of hugging yourself at the side. When you do a hug and shrug, I want you to think of everything's got to be close. And then I want you to think of almost shrugging your shoulders and then coming back down. So when you do it again, shoulders are staying down away from your ears as you shrug and then come back down. That work's going to be felt in your traps. So if you start to feel too much in your arms or too much in your shoulders, those are all indicators that you're off just a smidge. I'll have you try it out just by yourself at first. So I'll still cue you. You're gonna have your arms by your sides. And I almost want you to think of if you had towels between your arms that you were kind of snug. Good. Now I want you to think of nothing changes here, but you have to shrug your shoulders so they stay down and away from your ears. You should feel your traps do that work. Go for it. Okay. Come back down. You're good. I'm gonna have you feel the difference. Do it one more time. You're doing well. Good. Feel some work up there?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Go ahead and pause for a second. I'm gonna put these towels in between. And the only reason this is a good tip is because as your arms flare out, you compensate. So this is a tool in which helping you keep your alignment. I want you to keep your arms at your sides there. Same thing, but try to relax through your shoulders, let them come back and down. Good. Notice how this feels, and then do it from there. Good. Feel more activity up here?
Yes.
Good, good. Good. Yeah, 3 more. And just gentle shrug. Don't try and work too hard. Good. There you go. Good. Last one. There you go. That's it. There you go. Good stuff.
What to think
Part of it
about.
today, a little review. We went over the bicep curls, the serratus press at the wall, the serratus press with a roller, shoulder D2 flexion, and then some shoulder press at the wall with weights if needed. So thanks again for being part of Das Fit, and I'll catch you the next time, all right?